To follow a low-carb diet, you must reduce the number of carbohydrate grams you eat in a day. That is an obvious statement, but what does that look like and what can you eat? In this video, I share a full day of eating a low-carb diet for those who are just getting started. There are many things that cause confusion when you start a low-carb diet. One of the main issues is how many grams of carbs to eat. There is low-carb dieting and there is keto dieting. The difference is the level of carbohydrates. While the cutoff points are not fully agreed upon, you can think of a low-carb diet as a day of eating that does not contain more than 125 total grams of carbohydrates. To be in the keto range, you need to drop your carb grams to no more than 50 total carbs for the day. For this video, I'm going to show you a daily diet that splits those values. These foods in front of me total up to 75 total grams of carbohydrates. One way to start your low-carb day of eating is with a smoothie that contains low-sugar fruits with a good fiber-to-carb ratio. Avocados and strawberries fit those criteria. For instance, to make this smoothie, I placed half of an avocado and half a cup of frozen strawberries into a blender, along with a cup of almond milk, a handful of spinach, and a tablespoon of almond butter. And I will share the ingredients for each of these foods in the video. You can also get the recipes on my blog post that goes with this video. I'll share a link to my blog below the video in the description area. This smoothie contains 23 grams of carbohydrates, but almost 10 of those carbs are from fiber. That is a good fiber to carb ratio. The fiber is going to slow the absorption of the smoothie, keeping hunger away for a longer amount of time. The slow absorption will also prevent the blood sugar and insulin spikes you get from eating something that is refined for breakfast, like a muffin. When insulin is high, it prevents the release of fat from the fat cells. So right from the start of your day, you have a convenient food that tastes good and also keeps your blood sugar steady. As you are stepping into your low-carb lifestyle, there is no better meal to include than a salad. And there are a couple of great reasons for that. For one, salad greens are low in carbohydrates but provide a lot of hunger-satisfying volume. To give you an idea, this salad has about 4 cups of greens, but that only provides 6 carbs and 4 grams of fiber. Also, a salad provides you with a perfect vehicle for bringing healthy fats into your daily diet. One of the biggest mental hurdles you'll face when you shift to low-carb eating is allowing yourself to increase the amount of fat that you eat. We were told for years that eating fat makes you fat, and it's hard to get away from that mindset. However, adding healthy, high-quality fats to your diet helps your body transition away from being a primarily carb-burning metabolism to a fat-burning metabolism. This salad is topped with many healthy fats, including the other half of the avocado from the breakfast, a hard-boiled egg, feta cheese crumbles, and walnuts. And it also has a full-fat salad dressing made with avocado oil. That adds up to 36 grams of fat. The salad also contains a few slices of apple that provide a crunch and a bit of sweetness. And the apple and the greens are the main contributors to the 27 grams of carbohydrates and 9 grams of fiber in this lunchtime salad. For dinner, stir fry is a quick and easy choice for beginners, especially if you utilize frozen stir fry vegetables and pre-cooked rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. To make this, I simply cooked a bag of frozen vegetables in a tablespoon of avocado oil, added the pre-cooked chicken, and a quick homemade sauce. Now, one of the things that may surprise you when you start a low-carb diet is that many sauces and condiments have sugar or high fructose corn syrup in them. Those simple carbs can sabotage your weight loss. Fortunately, you can often whip up a homemade low-carb version of the sauce. For instance, this stir-fry sauce contains a 1/4 cup of chicken broth, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. Now, as you transition to a low-carb lifestyle, yogurt is something that can be enjoyed as a dessert or a snack. However, you need to choose yogurt carefully. The vast majority of single-serve yogurts in the dairy aisle of your grocery store are low in fat. When they remove the fat, they remove the flavor, which they replace then with sugar or sweeteners. To support your low-carb lifestyle, you want to choose plain, full-fat yogurt and then add your own ingredients at home. Higher milk fat yogurt may only be available in these larger containers, but they keep well in the refrigerator even after they've been opened. This yogurt dessert contains a 1/4 cup of frozen blueberries that I microwaved for just about 30 seconds and then pressed to extract the juices. I then added a 1/2 cup of yogurt, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and just a pinch of pure stevia. Now, this video is being made for YouTube, which is a broad audience. The meals in front of me total up to just over 1,200 calories, which will be low for some, but this works nicely for a demonstration purpose because it is easier to add low-carb, high-fat items rather than subtract them. When we break down the macros for the day of eating, we see that it contains 75 total grams of carbohydrates, making up 25% of the daily calories, with another 25% coming from protein and just over 50% of the day's calories coming from healthy fats. Many of you will find this macronutrient breakdown to be a comfortable starting place if you are coming from a high-carb lifestyle. It allows you to step into a low-carb diet rather than dive into a very low-carb keto diet. And when you start this way, you may still experience some fatigue as your body adapts, but you'll lessen many of the keto flu symptoms that result from a more dramatic change. Now, I'd like to draw your attention to a couple of things about this low-carb menu in front of me. First of all, there are 3 small servings of fruit, blueberries, strawberries, and slices of apple. When you are just getting started on your low-carb lifestyle, you may find that your body tolerates some fruit. However, everyone's tolerance of fruit is different, so you will be happiest with your long-term results if you limit your fruit intake. And I have many videos that discuss fruit on my channel if you would like to explore that topic further. You'll also notice that there are no bread items like toast or a bagel. A slice of whole wheat toast contains about 16 grams of carbohydrates. If you are looking to bring your carb intake below the upper threshold of 125 grams, you could technically include a piece of toast in your diet. However, bread is refined, so it will get absorbed into your bloodstream quickly, causing the blood sugar and insulin spikes that encourage fat storage. There are breads that are advertised as low carb or no carb. This is accomplished by manipulating the ingredients to reduce the net carb count. On paper, that seems ideal. However, these processed foods tend to be absorbed into the body quickly, and depending on what has been added, may cause an increase in blood sugar or insulin. When processed foods are utilized, counting net carbs rather than total carbs can easily become a trap that derails your weight loss. That is why I am sharing the total carb count for this low carb menu. Now, you'll also notice that this menu is made up of whole foods. There are some whole foods that are higher in carbs that can be worked into a beginner's low-carb diet due to their high content of fiber and micronutrients. For instance, this salad does not contain beans. However, if you are just moving your diet into the low-carb range, you can make them work. Beans are whole, nutrient-dense foods, but they also contain a fair amount of carbohydrates. To give you an idea, a 1/2 cup of black beans contains about 22 grams of carbs and 9 grams of fiber. Now, if you account for those carbohydrates and you enjoy beans, you can work them into your overall daily diet. And I hope you see from this video that a low-carb diet made up of whole foods is enjoyable and effective for weight loss. I provide a few examples here, but there are many more healthy low-carb foods to keep you feeling satisfied. I have a list of 100 low-carb foods displayed on a single PDF that you can download and print for free from my website, and I will provide links to the food list here on the video and below in the description area. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon before you go to get notified when my new videos are released. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.